Valve is an American video game company. They not only make games that they develop, they also publish other games that are brought to them. They're also a digital distribution company. They have created many platforms that help them with the distribution of content, games, anything that they develop, but they also work in technology, hardware, developing things that will add to anything else that they make. As far as accessories for your gaming system and the games that go into that system, everything like that, that is what they do. And so, but they have a very uncommon internal structure. So there's no bosses, no managers. The only time that that sort of thing would come into play is if a team is developed, and their teams are cabals, I believe is how it's pronounced. But these teams are self-appointed teams. If you think that you need to be working on this problem, issue, innovative team, whatever it is towards, you can appoint yourself to that team. And although it could be full, other people could have gotten to it first. But even then, there is a team leader, but they more or less serve as a center for people to kind of bounce ideas off of, and they're more of like the idea of the group as a whole. But they're not a manager. They are not overseeing what every person's doing. They're not giving them dates. They're not giving them, hey, this is exactly what you need to be working on. That is not what Valve is for. They are very much so wanting their employees to be self-sufficient. They want them to be innovative and creative within their own selves. At the moment that you get hired, they want you to be creative. They do not want to put you in a box. That is how they have made their success within all of their gaming and all of their structures. And that is how the structure of their uniqueness, and partly matrix, they do work in teams, they do a lot of collaborative stuff, but they lack that managerial layer to it. And so they're not quite that matrix structure, but their structure does intertwine heavily, I believe, on how successful that they are in their market and things like that. And so they have this manual. Very first thing when you are a new hire, you get this manual, and it's basically a very self-supporting, self-sufficient manual. And in this manual, you can find any answer to questions that you may have. And so if you were like, oh, this is a very, should I be involved in this project? What should I be working on? How do I know what others are working on? All of those questions are listed blankly in this manual. And it doesn't, it's not a point A, here's your answer B thing. It gives you ways to think through the manual itself, and it wants people to think for themselves and find out what they think is right for them, given whatever the situation may be. There's not a in situation, end goal, other than making sure that the situation's resolved. And they call them methods, more or less, and this would be methods to find out what's going on. Go to a meeting, talk to someone in the elevator, talk to someone in the kitchen, talk to someone in a common area. They're wanting positive communication within their work environment, and that is where they've honestly made their bread and butter, making this very unique, very distinctive work environment. But it's worked for them, and I do believe that that is why they have been at the top of their markets and things like that. Of course, they could grow. I believe that if they were to say, hey, I know that we really like having people coming up with their own ideas, doing all of that, but if they found a group of like-minded individuals that were really wanting to work towards this one goal, possibly grouping them together, although that is not what they particularly want to do, I believe that it would build on their initial want of people being passionate about a goal and being successful and telling others about what they want to do. And so putting those like-minded individuals and fostering a very creative environment for them could be beneficial to help them get to where they want to be quicker. Technology is ever changing. And for Valve to stay at the top of their market, they have to be innovative. They have to be on time with what everyone else is doing and a step quicker than that. And something that's very popular at this moment that I don't particularly love at all, I hate the idea of it, but AI is everywhere, and it's inevitable at this point, and they need to get ahead of it. They need to learn how to use it. And although that may not be what they want to do firsthand, learning how to use AI in developing their games, they can make characters have their own minds without having to waste hours and hours on coding. They could potentially save money of using AI. They could potentially have more eco-friendly systems by letting the computer itself generate all these things. Once they learn how to use that, they could have their people in office learn how to correctly use artificial intelligence to help them generate these ideas, help them find out what other places that they may not directly have a contact with are doing. If it is out there in the world, artificial intelligence may be able to find it. And so I think once it's used to a positive way, it can be good for them. And if they were to really launch into finding all the ways that artificial intelligence can help them in the long run, I think that can help them stay at the top of all their markets and kind of reach those technology standards that we know every other country, every other company is also using. And so they have to stay on time with everyone else and that step ahead. And at this moment, it is making sure that they know everything that they can do with that artificial intelligence, and that not necessarily that they have to use it, but knowing what they can do with it may help them in the long run. But I think fostering that environment and making sure that they have options and not putting themselves in a box, which they have not done, will really add to their innovative strategies that they have made.